Hey everybody, it's your girl Sugar Bop and I'm back with another video. So I know you noticed that I have the same thing on that I had in my other video. That's because I'm filming two videos today and I will be posting both of those videos today. The last video was a story time. This video is going to be a story time also. Um, so, sit back, relax, get your popcorn. This video is going to be a lot longer than the last one, I promise. Because I know me, when I get on this topic, I have a lot to say, and my mind just wanders off when I talk about this specific topic. So, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, become an official Sugar Bear. Hit that notification button so you know when I post a video. Alright, so this video is going to be about my most toxic relationship. So first and foremost, I just want to give you a little bit background. At the time I was 21 years old, I was actually working at Walmart, and I was making pretty good money too, I would say, for somebody that was my age. I didn't have my license yet, I don't believe. I was still working on trying to get it on account of, I think it was because I kept failing the test, or I just was too scared. Something about that, something along that line. Anyway, that's beside the, anyway. So I was 21 years old, and I had started going to this church. It was like, alright, so here we go. This is what I'll say. So one day, my mom used to help me, like, out, because sometimes, money would run low as to where as though, I couldn't pay for me to get my hair done and things like that. So, even though I was making, good money, so, my mom had dropped me off at this lady's house that was going to braid my hair. And as you can see, this was way before I learned how to braid, so I had to pay people to braid my hair, basically. So this lady, she did a really good job. She was an African lady, very nice, So it was basically like an all day thing as far as getting my hair done. Next thing I know, my mom's coming to pick me up. And she's like, "Oh, we're gonna go to this church thing that has," but um, moving on. If you see this glare, it's because the sun's shining like directly on my Venetian blinds, and I'm in my kitchen. Um, so she's like, "Oh, we're gonna go to this church." And it was a church I never been to before. We were going to, it was supposed to have been like some kind of a party, I guess, they were having. Um, and it was pretty fun, actually. I had never been, I didn't know I was going. My aunt was going with me and my mom, so, it was the first thing. And also, my cousin had been going to this thing like every week. It's something they have I think it's every Friday night. It's been a while since I went, and once I tell you the story, that's another story time, so you'll kind of get the gist of why I don't go anymore. But so we went to this event that they had, and it was pretty nice, open to everybody, the community, everybody could come. Um, I didn't meet him that particular night. The guy that I'm going to tell you about, I didn't meet him that particular night because he wasn't there. But, I went, had a great time. So then I decided to go again on another occasion. And, I had met this one guy when I went the first time. He was very nice. Very, very nice guy. Not going to say his name. We're just going to call him Johnny. And like I said, very nice guy. You know, I don't really keep in contact with him anymore. Um, but, you know, he is on my social media, so. Um, so I decided to go again one night because I think my cousin was still going to the events every Friday night. So I went, and this one particular night they had a black party. And honestly, he wasn't there that night either. He was actually there at another event. Crazy thing about it is, I don't know how he even knew who I was. I guess he must have saw the pictures that they posted on Facebook, and was like, "Ooh, who is that? You know, never seen her before." So he, you know, oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting the story all wrong. Okay, so hold on one second. This happened so long ago that I'm getting the story all mixed up, and I'm very, very sorry about that. Um, so, went to a black party, and he wasn't there at that event either. It was another event that I went to. I think it was the next one after that. You know, it was like a formal dance kind of thing, and um, you know, they said come dressed up. So I came dressed up. I think I had on like some dress pants and a dress shirt or whatever. And, you know, he seen me, and I had been kind of watching him all night. Not to say that I liked him, because honestly I didn't. But, you know, after the whole thing was over, I was sitting down. It was kind of late. I think it was like going on 12 midnight. And he saw me sitting down, and he, you know, kind of touched my shoulder and walked away. So then, you know, I seen him on Facebook, and I had complimented him because I thought he looked really nice in the suit that he had on. So, you know, I said we're gonna name him Carlton because that's the only name I could come up with right now. So I said, you know, Carlton, you know, I messaged him on Facebook. I said, you know, Carlton, you look really nice in that suit the other night. You know, just to pay a compliment, you know, and he responded back and said, thank you. But then threw in some other stuff like, you know, this isn't a line, but I think that you're a very, you know, nice person. I would like to get to know you. You're very pretty. You know, things like that. And from that moment on, it was like Shalene and Carlton. When you see one, you see the other. And we was like this, okay? It didn't take long before we actually started like a relationship. And so I'm not going to say all details because some things I'm just going to keep on the low low and keep it private because, you know, just for me, you know. But we started dating, you know, we hung out a lot. Um, I would always see him when I was able to. I would always see him at the event on Friday nights, you know. So, you know, I thought things were going pretty well. Now, the thing about it is I said, like I told you, I was 21, right? This guy was 10 years older than me. So, what I was thinking, I have no clue, but I was like thinking, okay, well, you know, if people got judged by how old they were, then, you know, you might not find real love that way. And like I said, I thought he was a really nice guy, you know, so I thought maybe something might come of it. But I was wrong. So, I remember this one particular time I was looking at somebody's YouTube video, and they were talking about how people tend to show you their representative when you first meet them. like that's not how they really are in real life. Like later on, you tend to see their true colors, right? So one day, I don't know how long it took, but it wasn't that long. Representative was long gone. Representative had flew the coop and was like, okay, well, I'm going to show you who I really am now because I feel like I got you and you're not going to go anywhere. So, bada boom. This is who I really am. You know, if you don't like it, sorry, but this is who I really am. So, I started to notice how, he would start to talk to me like I was a child, because I was 10 years younger than him, so I guess he thought he was going to be able to mold me and control me and things like that. And for a good while, I did allow it, to be honest with you guys, because, like I said, I was young and I thought I was in love, so I just let things happen that shouldn't have happened. And, eventually I did kind of speak up for myself. But when I spoke up for myself, I always got blamed for the way things were. And let me tell you something. If you're in a relationship with a guy, whether it be a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter. If you know that this person is treating you wrong, you don't have to stay. You shouldn't stay. Because guess what? You're worth more than what they're doing to you. Okay? You deserve better. Okay? And I just wanted to, come out and say that because a lot of times I think we put ourselves through unnecessary things that we don't have to put ourselves through. In the sake of trying to be loyal or faithful to a certain person. And it shouldn't be like that. Because if a person has your best interest at heart, they won't like maliciously try to hurt you or talk down to you, Um, I will say people do make mistakes, that's natural. But when you making a mistake, when somebody apologizes to you for making a mistake, but then they turn around and do it again, I'm a firm believer, like most say, that's not a mistake at that time, at that point. It's a choice. Because if I'm telling you that what you're doing is hurting me and you're still doing it, then you just intentionally doing it now. Because I'm not going to go anywhere. And, that's how it was with me for a while, when I was dating Carlton. A lot of times I would say, I'm gonna, this is gonna be over. I'm not gonna deal with you no more. But then I'd come right back, you know. This particular person, when he saw somebody new coming, because, at this point, I was going to the church with him. Like, me and him was going to church together every Sunday. Or when I could go, because I was working retail, so. I would notice that he had, this wandering eye thing going on. And it was like every time he saw somebody that I guess he thought was prettier than me, he would leave me for that person. And the first time it happened, I was so upset. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. He didn't come out and say that's what happened because, a man who's not going to accept his faults and things like that, like most men like that, they don't come out and admit that they've done something wrong. But I knew in the back of my mind, I put the pieces together like this is what's going on. So the first person that he ever left me for was this one girl. We're gonna name her Cheyenne. I didn't know her personally, but I knew somebody that did know her, and she started coming to the church, and it just the whole relationship went south from there. You know, we were together on and off, me and Carlton were, but we were more like, when we were on a break, it was like we never really broke up because we were still like always together. And we did things like how we did when we were in a relationship. So it was like we were broken up, but we weren't really broken up. So, um, I don't know why, what, anyway, I don't know why I brought that up, but anyway. So, oh, I know why. Because I wanted to say that I was like a ride or die for him. Like, I was always there for him. Friends, whether being friends or just being in a plain relationship. I was always there for Carlton. So, um, when he just up and started dating someone else, it messed me up in the head. Because I'm like, how could you do this in front of my face when you know we just broke up not that long ago? Like, I'm sitting up here showing my loyalty to you, showing you what, I thought was the right thing. Like, I'm a real woman. I'm trying to show you that the people that you dealt with in your past, they're nothing like me. I was grown from a different um, grain in the garden. You know what I'm saying? Cut from a different cloth. Me and him came from two different sides of the tracks. So the way he grew up was not the way I grew up. And I knew better when it came to relationships. I knew to love that person, and I knew to, be loyal and be honest in a relationship and to communicate the right way with people. Obviously, he didn't know that because, yeah. So, I feel like I went down a rabbit hole. My bad. But, it was like, how could you do that? And he did it again, too. Like, we got back together. I forgave him. We got back together. And then he did it again. The difference between this last time and the first time was that we were actually engaged to be married. And I really believed him when he said that we were going to get married. But then looking back at the situation now, it was like, nah, that wasn't really going to happen. He was just playing with me. And, looking back now, honestly, I'm glad I didn't because of the person he was. I would have either went crazy or I would have been just plain miserable throughout the whole marriage. It would have been like one of those dumb mistakes you make when you're young. And they say getting a divorce is very expensive, so I'm glad I didn't do that. Thank you, Jesus. I dodged a bullet with that one. So after that last time, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, we're not gonna be friends anymore. I disappeared. Like, we were texting or whatever for a while, but then once I jumped into another relationship, which that one didn't really last long either, and I'm not even going to talk about that because that's some other stuff. Like, that's some other stuff. Anyway, I jumped into another relationship and I had totally forgotten, like, I totally started ignoring Carlton on the grounds of, I figured, well, sorry, things with Carlton weren't really going anywhere, and I just felt like my time was being wasted, so I just kind of faded him out. Um, Went into this whole other relationship that didn't work out, so You know, I found myself in a hardship. That could be another story as well. I won't tell that story in this one. But I found myself going back to the church that I was going to when I met Carlton. Because I had totally stopped going after me and Carlton broke up, like officially. But I went back on account of, the situation I was in, and I didn't really want to go to my mom's church because I didn't feel like I was getting much out of it. Like, as far as like a spiritual feeding, I didn't feel like I was getting much out of it. So, and I felt like, go back to this church that I was going to before when I met Carlton, I might get a little something out of it. I might be able to feed my soul, because low key, this church that I was going to, it was really based for young people. It's where all the young people were. It's where all my friends were that I had met previously, and I just felt really comfortable there until the situation happened that happened this last time I went. So I went there and I was with some people that I had met where I was currently staying at. Like I said, that's a whole nother story. I could tell that story at another time. But they would gather us up on the van. We went to the church and I saw Carlton. And I didn't say anything to him because in my mind I was just like, I'm pretty much fed up with him, so I thought. um, so I saw Carlton, didn't speak or anything, and the service went well, I thought, and I went back to where I was living. So the next day I was job searching, and I noticed that I kept getting these phone calls from a unknown number. Like, I didn't know this number at all, because I had totally deleted all Carlton's numbers and everything. But this wasn't one of his numbers anyway. This was where he was staying at. So I noticed I kept getting these phone calls, and I'm like, who is this person calling me? Like, I don't know this person. So, I was like, you know what? I'm going to call this number back and see who it is. Needless to say, it was Carlton. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how people try to come back after you've told them that you're fed up with the BS? Funny? Isn't it funny? And I'm going to tell you something, right? This is a thing he always used to say. People never notice. I gotta remember how he used to say it. In so many words, he would say, people don't miss you until you like disappeared out of their life. And I'm like, funny he should say that, because here he is missing me, evidently. So I was like, you know what? I'll get, try to be friends with him again, see how this goes. We had a great talk, like old buddies, like, like nothing ever happened. Because me, I'm a forgiving person, or at least I was back then. Now, I'm just like, you screw up one time, I'm going to give you a warning. If you do it again, then it's a wrap for you, because, no, I don't need a repeat of, history. I need my future to look better than what it did before. So, I gave him another chance. I was very forgiving. We're gonna be friends again. And, I was hoping to maybe get into a relationship with him again. because I still low-key had feelings for him. And, I thought maybe he had changed within the past 6 months that had disappeared. Long story short, he was still the same. Because, alright, here was the incident. I went to the church that next Sunday. Said what's up to him, he was cool, everything was good. But then, like I said, I still had feelings for Carlton. So, when I saw him put his arm around this one girl that he was sitting next to, which, by the way, the girl already had a boyfriend and she wasn't feeling him anyway. So, he put his arm around her and it kind of like broke my spirit a little bit. Like, I was like, my feeling towards it was, how could he do this? Slash, dang, there I go again, falling for the same old BS. So that same day after church, I called him up, and was it after church? Or I think it was the next day I talked to him. So I said, Carlton, I need to talk to you about, how I feel about a certain situation that happened on yesterday. So, like I said, the conversation started well at first, but then once I voiced my opinion on what he did, basically I said, I didn't like how you did that, how I saw you wrapping your arm around some other girl. I didn't like that, because I basically told him I still kind of had feelings for him. And if he was going to do stuff like that around me, could he at least be discreet, and think of my feelings? Well, that went into, oh, well, how do you think I felt the whole 6 months you were gone? I didn't do anything to you, da-da-da-da-da-da. Try to flip the tables on me, basically. Make me feel like I was the one in the wrong for feeling how I felt. And, so I said, you know what? That's cool. Guess what? Since that's how things are going to be, you don't have to hear from me, and you're not going to see me ever again. And this last time I said that, I really meant it. But here we go again. Months later, Christmas, I think it was Christmas Day, he tried to hit me up on Facebook and was like, and I didn't even know he still had my Facebook. Like, I didn't know. He hit me up on Facebook, and I didn't find out till months later, because I didn't really, check my messages like that. I hadn't been on Facebook in a while anyway, so I had, a few messages in my inbox. So I checked my inbox, and there was a message from Carlton. He said, Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. And I'm like, you see my face, right? I'm like, did he not get it when I said I never want to talk to him again? And I low-key had a half a mind to send him a nasty message. Like, I told you I'm not talking to you anymore. Stop trying to contact me, type of deal. But I didn't. I just very kindly deleted the message, and I blocked him on all social media. Now, he doesn't have an Instagram, so, bada boom, that's a good thing. But I blocked all his Facebook accounts on, Facebook, and needless to say, he finally got the picture, because I never heard from him again. And, I'm happier, you should never let a person just do any and everything to you and hurt you and make you feel like you're less than what you are. Because in the long run, when you let that happen, that will mess up your self-esteem really bad. When you start looking at yourself like, who am I? Am I really that bad of a person that, you know, he would treat me the way he did? You know, you never want to make yourself feel like that, because when you start feeling like that, you know, depression can set in. You know, you could feel really low for a very long time. And I did, you know. It took me a long time to snap out of it, but when I did, I felt like, yeah, I'm living life again. Like that, you know, I'm back to being happy. I don't care about that person no more. You know, they can live their life. I really don't care, you know, what they're doing. You know, every now and then I'd run into somebody that I actually saw at the church, and they would keep asking me, have you seen Carlton? Have you talked to Carlton? No, I haven't. Because I'm not thinking about that man. I'm happy. Like, please stop bringing him up. Because and you know, when you try to be happy with yourself, you know, it can really irritate your soul when people just keep saying, like, bringing up that same person over and over again that you're like trying to heal from, trying to get over. It can really irritate you. But me being a nice person, I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna be like that. I'm just gonna be like, no, I haven't heard from him. We don't talk no more. You know. So, moral of the story: always be with someone that treats you like you're supposed to be treated. Always love yourself first. Because if you can't learn how to love you first, then you can't love anybody else the right way. And nobody's going to love you the way you're supposed to love you if you don't love you first. Because if you don't love you first, you're not going to know how you're supposed to be treated in a relationship. And it's going to mess you up. Hey, look, we all make mistakes. I know this. But that's why it's important for you to get to know you first. That way you don't have to go through unnecessary heartache. Okay? I don't want anybody. I wouldn't wish that pain on anybody. Because for so long I was devastated. I tried to pretend like I was okay, like I was, you know, happy. But in reality, I really wasn't happy. I was messed up. And I tried to replace him with more and more messed up relationships because I hadn't healed yet. And I hadn't learned to love myself completely. So I was still getting treated like dirt in these other relationships. So, you know, love you first. And then the right person will come into your life. And they will know how to love you. Because when you love you, you don't put up with no BS. At all. You know how you're supposed to be treated. And you know how you're supposed to be loved the right way. Don't settle for less. Ever. And I mean that. I love all of y'all, for real. Whether you're a man or a woman, you don't deserve to feel that pain that I felt. Because that pain brought a lot of tears. And I felt like I was ripped apart from the inside out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was bad. For a long time. It took me years to get over that. You know? Everybody heals differently. And it took me years to get over it. But when I finally did, I felt like a flower that had just blossomed in the springtime. I'm telling you, I feel like I was awake. Like I had been awakened for the first time in a long time. So self-discovery is very important. And that's all I'm going to say. Love you. Enjoy life. Don't be quick to jump into these relationships and not know yourself first. I know society makes things look so glamorous. These celebrities make these relationships look so beautiful. Like there's no wrong in their relationship. But trust me, everybody has problems, okay? Everybody. Celebrities got problems. They just they have a good way of hiding it until somebody peeps it out, of course, and then we find out. But even the best relationships, marriages, things like that, have issues. But there are things that you can work through. The things that I went through, though, there was no working that out. Because it would have been like a cycle, continuing on and on and on. And nobody wants to keep going through that. Wondering if your dude's going to leave you tomorrow because somebody else is in the picture. Nobody want to go through that. And that's just plain stupid. Nobody wants to be talked to like a child when they're a grown-up. Nobody wants to be taken advantage of. Nobody wants to feel like that. So if my advice to you is, if you're in a relationship right now and, marriage might come up, you want to make sure that's the right person for you. Pray about that. I believe in God. So pray about that. If you believe in God, whoever you pray to, it doesn't matter. Pray about it before you end up in a bad situation. I can't stress that enough, y'all. It's serious. Because feelings are very important. People's feelings are very, very important. And you want to cherish them if you really love them. Because my relationship, I went from him telling me he was afraid to lose me to being thrown to the wayside. So, that's all I'm going to say. I'm done, y'all. I hope you liked this video. It will be posted up today. Right after the first story time that I did. Like I said, you guys, enjoy life, okay? Enjoy life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Become an official Sugar Bear. Because I'm Sugar Bop, and you could be my Sugar Bear. It's free, so, go ahead and do it. I promise y'all, I'm going to try to make this content. I'm going to try to make this content interesting. As interesting as I can. Okay? Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Share a comment down in the comment section. Let me know about your experiences that you've had in relationships. Give each other advice, on how to deal with certain situations. Alright, I love y'all.